All right, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Conversations. We done switched everything over, trying to get everything set up right. We're gonna jump right into this. Uh, we'd like to welcome you all to Real Talk Conversation, where a platform has been. I almost added yours into my intro. Let me start that over. I almost added smooth talk in there. Welcome to Real Talk Conversation, where a platform has been created to come together, to commune together, and not divide each other. We're gonna pick up where we left off last week. Last week we're gonna pick up where we left off at, and we're gonna bring my brother back, James Jr. back, Pastor James Jr. on Facebook, but his name is Pastor James Everett. We're gonna bring him back, and we're gonna get this back rolling like we did last week. Pastor, what's going on,
Yes, sir. Hey, brothers. Hey, my brothers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to get this thing back rolling, man. I almost put my son intro in my intro.
I heard you when you were saying that. Yes, sir. I tell you, but it's another delight and another pleasure to be on with you guys.
Yes,
and
man.
As I had forestated, these conversations are needed. Real talk. See, it's enough of that smooth talking, that sugar coating, but you need some real talking in this day and time now.
Yes, you do. Yes, we do. And I hope that people see what's on the screen, because that's the topic we're talking about today, the cost of fitting in. That is the topic of
Yes.
today. It's the cost of, that's, man, I be sitting around and the cost of fitting in, it can cost you your peace. Some people stay around toxic environments because they fear loneliness. Some people stay in relationships where they can't even grow. Some people are silenced because their convictions stay accepted, and some ignore God's calling because it will separate them from the crowd. And slowly, if you're not careful, you will compromise becoming normal and becoming like somebody else that you shouldn't even be like.
Mm, man, I tell you, uh, when you talking about the cost of fitting in, you talk about the peace, you know, when you trying to fit in, man, it disturbs your peace because, like you saying, you trying to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do. You know right from wrong, but because you trying to fit in, and then it costs you your peace because you trying to worry about what they think about me, how they feel about me, what they saying about me. And now your peace is being disturbed because, you know, you doing everything you can do to fit in, but in the back of your mind, you were saying, do they really feel that I'm a part of this? I'm a part of that. And so, uh, man, people really need to know that to really fit in, there's a price. There's a price got to be paid. There's a cost. Cause ain't nothing free. Nothing. And like you said, you trying to fit in, it can cost you your life, it can cost you your freedom. And those two things are valuable. They're valuable. You don't get but one life. And you have to sit down and make some conscious decision. Is this worthy? Are they worthy for me to try to fit in? And we mess up well at we want to be accepted.
Oh,
We
yes.
want to be
Yeah.
a part of the crowd. The crowd. This is what the crowd doing. This is what the crowd is saying, and we try to fit in because You know, we don't want to be called no square. We don't want to be called no punk. So hey, now I got to go and do something to prove that, you know, hey, I'm up to par, I'm up to standard, you know, just to fit in. And then when it all boils down,
Ooh.
you'll find out that you're all in it by yourself.
By yourself.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
by yourself.
And that's sad, but you know, it's just like you said, a lot of people they want to be accepted. Why?
Yes,
We all
yes,
been through that growing up and everything. But when you
yes,
look at it, some people only fit in that old version of you.
right.
They can't fit in the new version. You don't change your life. They can't even fit in with that part of. So they try to pull you back to where you was
Mm,
at, that old
mm-hmm.
version of you. But you don't moved on. And
I don't move on.
careful not to slide back to that old you. And growth will
Mm-hmm.
naturally create separation. When you start to grow, you're gonna start to separate from everybody else that was right there at
Right,
that core. You're gonna start
right,
separating. But
right,
that doesn't make you arrogant. That doesn't make you arrogant. That doesn't make you jealous of somebody else. That doesn't make you your ego so high. It doesn't make you better than other. It just means you are involving and starting to do what requirements of you and your movement.
right. And I kind of did a little background, and when you try to fit in, man, this word just stuck out to me. You lose your identity.
Yes.
Yeah.
You lose your identity, who you really is. You know what you see me doing, that's not really me. Because I'm doing this because I'm trying to fit in, but you know, and by you saying that, people see the change, and sometimes people can't accept the change. They try to provoke you and pull you back into who you used to be and what you used to do, and if you ain't careful, you got to be wise and always see the devil is at work, because people will provoke you at no cause, you know. And man, I was at work last week, and the job I do, we got the water hose, and we spray water, clean the machine down. Now, of course, we got rain suits on, and you gonna get wet. That's just natural. But the dude that works by me, he was just spraying crazy, So I moved, and then soon as I moved here, he's spraying crazy again. So now I'm getting agitated because you doing it on purpose, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Now I'm saying, man, now this dude sprayed me one more time, you know. So so I moved and I calmed myself down. I said, because you know what? I said, I'm not gonna let this brother get me out of character. I said, I'm not gonna let him get me to this point. So I just waited till he got through doing what he was doing, and I went back to doing my job. But people would take your salvation for granted, because you say you save and you living for Christ. Oh, they think some kind of pushover. No, don't get it
Mm-hmm.
twisted now, bro. Oh, bro, don't get it twisted now. I love the Lord, and it's gonna take a lot for you to provoke me. But if you push me in this corner to the point where I got to come out, I got to come out. But if I can avoid you and see that, you know, it's bad to say that some people are just ignorant, but that's just where it is,
Yes.
you know. And when you trying to fit in, you begin to start belittling your self-respect. You know, you was raised with respect. You was raised to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir. But because you trying to fit in and you seeing the crowd do this, you see the crowd do that, then now you taking on their spirit. You
Mm-hmm.
start acting out. You start acting out because they acting out, and people are looking at you and they're saying, "No, that ain't no way in the world. That's the same young man I seen. He won't raise like that. Why is he talking like that? Because I'm trying to fit in to a group that really you'll never be accepted in."
Never be accepted in. I got my son here today. He riding with me today. Last week he tried to jump ship, Pastor. He tried to jump ship
Yeah,
over
yeah,
last week.
yeah, yeah,
He with me
yeah.
today. He said, man, I'm gonna sit in on this one right here because we're gonna get the view from a young person. We're gonna get
Right,
a view from a young person. Now,
right.
son, how is it that you at 28, what's the cost of trying to fit in?
Man, like you were saying earlier, you're gonna lose yourself, and you're gonna feel uncomfortable because you're doing things that you know that you wasn't raised into doing, and you're not yourself for real. So you just like, man, this don't feel right. But you trying so hard to fit in that you ignoring it, and you like, you know what? But I'm trying to be cool with this group, so I'm gonna just keep doing it anyway, even though you know that you're not supposed to be in that group and trying to fit in. And even myself, dealing with sickle cell and things of that nature, I already knew that I wasn't normal in a sense. And as a kid, I didn't understand it, because I was a kid. So I was trying so hard to fit in and trying to be a part of groups and think I could do everything just as much as everybody else could. And once I got older, I started to realize like I'm not like y'all. I'm not trying to be like y'all. I don't want to lose myself trying to fit in.
Mm,
'Cause that's what I was doing. Started losing myself. Now I wasn't that type of kid that, be getting in trouble and stuff like that. But the times I did get in trouble, I was like, man, there's consequences behind that. Because I go to school and act up, act a fool, I get in trouble. Now I come home, I get a whooping. They don't got to deal with that, but I do. Now I don't know what
mm-hmm.
happened to them in their household. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They ain't none of my business. But I'm over here risking myself and risking who I am and my mental state trying to fit in with these people. And once I got older, because I'm like you said, I'm 28. Even last year, I had an experience with an old group that I used to be cool with, to where we had a falling out, and then something happened to where they wanted me to, in a sense, lose myself to be, to hang around them, even though they already made up in their mind that they was never gonna be cool with me to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not about to lose myself for your satisfaction, even though I already know y'all not gonna rock with me. So what's the point of me doing that? I'm not gonna sacrifice my peace and my own sanity trying to be a part of this group. I'm better off removing myself from the situation because I'm happy being who I am and stay true to myself. Because that's all you have to do is stay true to yourself.
And that part right there, a lot of people don't want to remove themselves.
Mm.
That part right there. And Michelle said, nowadays it's not just kids; it's older adults trying to fit in. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It's
Mm.
older adults.
I can, from my generation, I would say I see it all the time. I'm pretty sure y'all see it all the time. You got the ones that get into drugs or get into this street life and doing all this other stuff, and it's like it's better ways that you don't have to get in that life. There, nothing good comes out of it. Like you might get money depending on whatever it is you're doing, but it's not good money. All money ain't good money. So it's just like
Mm.
you risking that, but you don't know the other side of it. Now you got to look over your shoulder. Oh, couple times, you got to worry about the safety of your family and the safety of yourself and maybe your friends. Did you losing people left and right all because you wanted to fit in with this group of people that's with that street life, and it's not for you. You know it's not for you. And I've seen back then where people that was in that lifestyle, if there was somebody, that got a good head on their shoulders, they'd tell them straight up, hey, what you doing over here? You in school, you play basketball, you do this. Hey, go on somewhere. Mind your business. What you over here for? This ain't for you. You don't do this. But nowadays it's not like that no more.
Mm-hmm. And you see it today that how as the young lady said, now it's adults trying to fit in. You see the adults still are being parents. They try to be their kids' friend, they buddies, and trying to fit in with what they are doing. You don't have your time. You don't did that. We should be setting the example. We should sit them down and let them know, hey, bro, the cost of you trying to fit in, it's gonna cost you. And when I was growing up, as I used to say, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a part. I wanted to feel accepted. My mother, she was a single mother, and she did everything she could do to reel me right. But when I got a certain age, and I started smelling myself and started hanging out and doing whatever the crowd wanted to do. She used to tell me, son, if you keep on following that crowd, you're gonna end up in trouble. I didn't want to listen. You didn't know what you were talking about. You old school. This a new day. This a new time. And got to hanging out and got in some trouble with the crowd. And out of the whole crowd, I was the one end up doing the time. I went to jail. I went to prison. And the crowd, they didn't never write me no letter. They ain't send me no money. They ain't do none of that. But soon as they heard that I'm about ready to get out, oh, that's my boy, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not finna go back around there. And so to fit in, there is a heavy price, a heavy cost. Because you look now, you got these old people and young people are losing their life. They want to fit in with the drug dealers. They want to fit in with the gang members, and you got to be initiated. They ain't finna just say, okay, well, you part of this gang. You got to pay a cost. You ain't gonna just walk up and say, hey man, I want to be a part of this gang. Okay, we accept you. No, it's a price you got to pay. Initiation ain't free. And you don't know how or what price you got to pay to be a part of this in crowd. And like your son said, you begin to start losing yourself. You losing yourself. Now you ain't got no respect. You used to have respect. You ain't got no respect. You don't care what come off your mouth. You don't care what you say, and that ain't me. And then when you have time to sit down and think and say, hey man, this ain't me. I was raised better than this. This ain't me. And then you have to figure out, hey, is I'm going to continue to do this, or I'm going to make a change. And when you get ready to make a change, brother, you can look for them to say all kind of things, throw stones, call you every name, only because you decided that I was going to make a difference, And God has called us not to fit in, but God called us to stand out, you know. And so, man, this is so important that not just our youth, but people in general, you know, really need to know the cost of trying to fit in.
Because people like the other side that people really don't talk about for real is you have people out here that's just like you. You have people that's for you. You just gotta find it. And when you get around that group, you cherish that group and you hold that group dear to your heart. Because even like with me dealing with sickle cell and stuff like that, I used to have friends that would smoke and drink heavily, and I have friends that barely do it or they do it on occasions. But the ones that would do it heavy, I don't knock them, I don't judge them or anything like that. But they always ask me, why don't you do this and third? That's not for me. That's not who I am. I'm not about to lose myself because I know what comes behind this. I know if I was to do that, now I'm putting my health and my life on the line and possibly worse than my health condition due to that. Now the ones that do it occasionally, we have an understanding, we respect each other to where they know that I don't do that. Now they might do it away from me or whatever, but even because I joke with them sometimes to see how they gonna react, and I'll be like, "Well, I'm about to go, you know, I'm about to go smoke, or I'm about to get me a drink," and they'll look at me and be like, "Hey, chill out," because they know I don't do that. But you need real friends like that, and you need real people like that in your life that'll get on, like we like to say, that'll get on your neck. Because the moment they even come out my mouth, they be quick to say, "Hey, watch your mouth." Like, you know, that ain't you. You don't do that.
Right.
And they sometimes joke around. They be like, "Hey, I'm finna call your dad. I'm finna text your dad. Let him know what you out here doing." I'm like, "I'm just playing, y'all. I ain't doing that." They're like, "Oh, all right."
And you know, accountability. People don't want to take accountability for their action. You know, you talking about the drugs, man. I was trying to fit in, and I was doing the drugs that I ain't had no clue of. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I see the people doing it. I see my guys doing it. I didn't know how it was gonna fit. I didn't know the outcome of it. I didn't know how I was gonna react on it. And come to find out, just because I was trying to fit in, I almost killed my own self by doing drugs. The doctor told me, he said, "Son, if you would have took one, he said, if you would have took one more hit, you would have bust your heart." But I'm trying to be with the cool guys. I'm trying to fit in with the crowd and, you know, yeah, man, let's go do this, man. We can, you know what I'm saying? Didn't even know I was killing myself. I was killing myself. And man, I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. I couldn't even walk upright. I had to walk bend over. And when the doctor told me that news, man, it was like a wake up call. And I said, you know what? It got to be a change. God, I got to be a better person. I got to be a better way, you know, because, you know, we all was taught the right way and the wrong way. But because we want to fit in, we overlook the right way. We overlook that. And we take the wrong way because my guys is doing wrong, and them my guys, them my homies, them my partners. And hey, if they shooting, I'm shooting. If they selling drugs, I'm selling drugs. If they doing drugs, I'm doing drugs. Whatever they are doing, I'm doing it because, hey, this my clique. These my boys. These my partners. And hey, you know, I look up to them and they look up to me and we all together. It was three of us. If you ain't see all three of us, you seen two of us. And man, I just had to come to myself. I had to tell myself, boy, it got to be a better way. It got to be a better way. Ain't none of them gone to prison. Ain't none of them did no jail time. And every time something go down, guess what? I'm the one paying the cost.
Mm.
I'm the one paying the cost. I'm the one going to the prisons. I'm the one wasting 4 and 5 years in prison. Time wasted that I never get back, that you will never get back. Young lady, young man, if you listening, when you go to prison and you do 4, 5, 10 years, that's 10 years of your life that you will never, ever get back. And then
Yep.
and when you get in there, you have time to sit down and think, and you'll think, and you'll think, and you say, man, I'm sitting here because I was trying to fit in with the wrong crowd. With the
Yes.
wrong crowd.
You tell that's a lot of truth right there, and that is the consequences that comes along with that ride of trying to the cost of fitting in. That is the consequences to it. You can go to prison, or you can be in that cemetery, or you could just be whatever happens. You could be even on drugs, alcoholic. You could be all this stuff because you tried to slide in there and be with this group, be with that group, and be in that certain clique. And for everyone that just tuned in, we'd like to welcome you all to Real Talk Conversation, where a platform has been created to come together and commune together and not divide each other. I got my co-host, my son's back with me today. My son Brandon McCoy. Some of y'all know him as D Smooth with his dance name. And we got our good friend Pastor James Everett. But on Facebook,
Bless you.
James Jr. So we're talking about this, picking up from last week. You're not meant to fit in. And I'm gonna move to this one right here. Here's another one, Pastor. Being set apart feels lonely. Nobody talks about this part. Being different can feel lonely, especially when you're changing, especially when your mindset involved, especially when your spirit starts rejecting environments you used to enjoy. You lose friends, you lose people, you lose your comfort zone. You lose fake support. That fake support. But isolation is not always punishment. Sometimes isolation is preparation. Sometimes God remove noise so you can finally hear your purpose clearly.
Amen. And man, as I sit here listen to you say that, God, when he has a plan for your life, God knows how to slow you down.
Oh,
Now,
yes,
when I was out here in this world, I was ripping and running. I ain't have time to hear. I ain't have time to think about nothing but what I wanted to do. And when I went to jail, I didn't have nothing no more time but to think. I couldn't run, I couldn't do nothing, I couldn't dodge, I couldn't hide. So I sat there in that jail cell and I took inventory of my life, where I was headed, what I was doing. And you know, I began to thank God because some of the very same things that I've been through and did, I had some friends that didn't make it.
Mm.
They didn't survive, you know. But by the grace of God, that God had a plan for my life. I mean, man, the life story And see, when you get to start isolating yourself, when you start separating yourself, the enemy, the devil want to play on your mind. You know, he want to have you thinking, oh, you lonely now. Don't nobody want to be around you. You know, he put all kind of thoughts in your mind only to try to pull and suck you back in. You know, well, maybe I do need to go back, start hanging around them. Maybe, you know, I do need to start doing this and doing. No, that's the trick of the enemy. The devil want to suck you back in. The devil want to pull you back in because you got away, you know. And one thing about the devil, boy, when he feel like he losing a good soldier, he gonna do everything he can to get that soldier back. Oh man, he gonna do everything because he know I was a good soldier. He know I was a fool. You know, whatever he told me to do, I did. I didn't worry about no consequences. Whatever the consequences is, I deal with that later. But I'm thankful unto God that God didn't let me get too far out there.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't recognize and see me. See, I can't see you. I got to see me before I can help you.
Yep.
Because we're doing the same thing. We're part of the same thing. And so the Bible says if the blind leading the blind, they both gonna fall. So I can't tell you need to stop. You can't tell me I need to stop because we are doing the same thing. But when you start distancing yourself, when you start waking up, when you start finding out who your real friends is, when you start out finding who your real partners is, you know, and you said something a while ago, man, when I got saved and I told the brothers I was saved and they seen, I didn't just talk it, I showed it. And they seen that I was for real with my walk. Man, I had some of my partners, man, don't you come back on this side. We don't want you back over here. And I'm saying, what? Man, you stay over that side. We don't want you back over here. You know, you doing good. You serving the Lord. Don't come back over here. You know, and you know, and as I continue to walk this thing daily, I ain't say I was perfect, but I walked it daily. You know, and now the respect that I get from the ones that I was following, now they calling me. Man, what you think about this? Man, I need prayer for this. Man, I'm coming to see you Sunday. You know, and I'm sitting back and I just begin to, I said, man, I said, these jokers, they coming to me when they know we used to do this and do that together. But somebody got to make a difference. Somebody got to take a stand that they would see, hey, there's a change. And most of the people today that know me, and when they talk to other people, they say, man, if God can change that boy there, I know he can do anything. You know, I want no bad person, but I did what I did. And I got what I got by any means necessary. And man, my life, man, when that song say, I am a living testimony, I should have been dead and gone, that's me. That's me, bro. You know, but I thank God, you know, he allowed me to stay here to raise my boys and let them know, hey, you don't want to go down this road. You can't pay the cost. You can't walk in the shoes I walked in. You can't do the things I did because this world done changed. You know, they done upgraded. See, when I was doing what I was doing, you know, we was mediocre. But see, this world done upgraded now. And I try to live a life, not only my sons, but I try to live a life to let those that I used to hang with, that boy, there's a better way. You don't have to live like this. You don't have to, I don't condemn them, whatever they do, I don't condemn them. I don't tell them, man, you need to stop this, man, you need to stop that. Man, why is you know, you let them be themselves. And when they see me pulling up, that man, hey man, there go my pastor right there, man. Put that down till he leave, you know. And I tell him, man, look here. I appreciate the respect and everything. I said, but man, be you. Be who you are. And you know, I was talking this morning from the message, how we try to compare ourselves. We try to be everything to somebody else. We want to be, you know, the gunslinger. We want to be popular. We want to be hip, you know. We want to be the man. But I'm going to tell you, for you to be the man, that's a cost. There's a cost to be the man. You know, you want to be the go-getter, there's a cost. There's a price you got to pay to be the go-getter. Now, if you willing to pay the cost to be the boss, I mean, to each his own. But I'm trying to help you to let you know, man, one of the dangerous places in the world now is the prison system. One of the dangerous places in the world now is you go to prison, ain't no guarantee you'll make it out. It's no guarantee. Man, down here where I'm at, Scotland Correction, about 6 miles from where I stay. And they done had 22 killings. 22. They just had to call in some people because the inmates had took over the prison. The inmates took over the prison. And man, like I say, you know, I talk to my sons, I let them know. Now you grown. I can't tell you what to do. But I'm trying to stop you from falling in the ditch. Because it's a ditch right there. See, the devil try to cover it up. And you won't see it, but I see it. And I'm trying to stop you from making your bed hard and lying in it. Because, like I say, to be the boss, that's a heavy, heavy cost and a heavy price you got to pay.
That's right. Like Linda said, it costs to be the boss. It costs to be the boss. And that leads right into what I'll get ready to talk about next. The world punishes authenticity. The world will punish that. People say they want realness until realness challenges them. The world celebrates individuality until you refuse to follow trends. People love confidence until your confidence stop needing their approval. And that's why authentic people often experiences resistance, because authenticity exposes performance. Let's think about it for a moment. Somebody stop pretending. People get uncomfortable. The moment someone says, I'm changing, I can't live like this anymore. I'm protecting my peace. I'm walking with God. I'm done compromising. Suddenly, Pastor and Brandon, suddenly the growth, your growth, and the crowd start acting different. Why? Because your growth confronts their comfort. Now you're starting to get from being on this messy side to being on, you know what, let me get on the right path. Not saying that I'm perfect, not saying that I'm doing everything right, but I want to change something about my life to get a lot of this mess out of it. My mama told us a long time ago, and I posted it today, that if you be involved in mess, long enough, sooner that mess smell will be on you, and sooner or later, that mess will become you, or you will become that
Mhm.
mess. That's what will happen to you.
Wow,
But
man.
your growth says a lot of stuff. Even people looking at you like, okay, I remember when you used to do this. I remember when you used to do that. Man, because I have had some people tell me, man, I remember back in the day, boy, this is what you, but what about now?
Exactly.
They don't want to see the new, they don't want to see you where you at now. They remember back then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we can talk about what I used to do, what we used to
Mhm.
do back then, want to talk and laugh and joke about stuff like that. But I'm no
Mhm.
longer that type of person. I'm still
Exactly.
growing at the age I'm at now. I'm still growing.
I'm
I'm
still
still
going.
learning.
You know, uh, by you saying that, Paul said, "For I have not apprehended it yet." So Paul was saying, "Hey, I'm still learning.
I'm still
I'm
learning.
still growing. I ain't made it yet.
Mm-mm.
You know, and man, when you trying to be different, you people will show you
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, man, I don't want to be around. He makes me feel. How do I make you feel uncomfortable? Because I don't want to do that no more. Now, if we were doing it together, we'd be two peas in a pot.
Be balling.
But now, I don't want no alcohol. I don't want no weed. I don't want to chase no women. So now, hey, we don't want him around us. He's a square. You
Yeah.
know, he's not a part of us because he ain't doing what we doing. And I feel uncomfortable every time he come around. I just feel uncomfortable. But how do you feel uncomfortable, brother, when I'm coming around trying to show you something positive? And a lot of people don't want nothing positive. They don't want to accept change. Some people are stuck and want to stay right where they are. They'll make all kinds of excuses to stay right there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, but man, change could never go wrong for nobody,
Mm-mm.
you know. And if I would have stayed where I was, brother, these people that coming to me, inboxing me for prayer, inboxing me for, help. I was just thinking on the job Friday. My mother, before she passed, she had called me and she said, "Son, I need you to pray for me." And I said, "Okay, usually somebody say, pray for me, we're like, okay, well, soon as I get off the phone, I'll pray for you." So I said, "Okay, mama, I'll pray for you." So she said, "No." She said, "I need you to pray right now." And I prayed for my mother on the phone. And I hung up the phone. And bruh, I just began to start crying. I began to start crying because if my mother would have not seen a change in me, ain't nowhere in the world she'd have called me
Mm-mm.
and asked for no prayer. But my mother seen the change. She seen the difference in her son. And I said, and I began to laugh, and I tell myself, boy, you saved now. I begin to tell myself, boy, you saved for real now. Your mama called you for prayer. You saved. Yeah, you saved now, boy. You know,
Yeah,
but
mama called.
if mama called, but if I was walking indifferent with what I was saying, and see, that's why we have to be careful of how we walk and what we say when we say we are living the life of Christ, because people are always gonna watch, people are always gonna listen, people gonna always pay attention, and the first little thing you do that's out of order, like we said last time, where they don't went in that bag and brought out them big switches, boy, they gonna whoop you. And so, you know, and that was the devil. He wants you to feel, you know, man, you lonely, man. Ain't no, you ain't tired of being by yourself, or you need to grab this and grab that. But see, when you know you growing, when you know you is different, when you see that, hey, and I didn't understand back then what was going on, because, you know, my aunt, bless her soul, Evangelist Everett, I told her, I said, Aunt, I said, something wrong. She said, what you mean, baby? I said, cause the fellas is up there on the corner and I don't want to go. I said, I don't know what's going on. I said, I don't want to go to the clubs no more. I don't want to drink no more. And and I didn't know what was going on. And she says, baby, the Lord trying to get your attention. I hadn't got to the point that I did not want to hang out with the fellas no more. I didn't want to be around them. I didn't want to be a part of it. I'd rather just be by myself, or walk, or go to the park, or whatever, than to be in their company. And I know that something was changing, because I love to be around my fellas. Them were my road dogs. But I was growing. And God was doing something different. God was separating me. And sometime when you got to separate yourself, it's gonna hurt. Oh yeah, it's gonna hurt. Especially, y'all were used to doing this, and you had genuine love for your fellows. But when God starts separating you, and God starts showing you that, hey, this ain't the group, they showing you, as you said, they showing you that fake love. Long as you got something to contribute, long as they can use you to be a part of what they are doing, hallelujah, then you accept it. But once you start backing up and say, no, I ain't doing this, I ain't going to doing that no more. Oh, they begin to, push you away. Oh, don't even come back around here no more. You didn't want to be a part of us, Well, what happened to the love? Now, when I was with you, but now you showing me. So this, you mean you tell me you had this fake love all the while? But God had to open my eyes to really see that, boy, this here was fake all the while. You didn't really care about me. Only thing you cared about what I was able to bring to the table.
That's right. And just like you were saying, the guys, they want to look at you and call you a square because you changed, but they're not telling the other fellas. They low key calling you, hey, Pastor, can you pray for me? Can you do this for me? But when with the boys, they want to be on hard then. But
they hard it. Yeah.
I need some help, man. Can you help me out with this right here? And I say to a lot of people, even if they do that low key, don't turn them away, help them. Because
exactly.
sooner or later, they're gonna get pulled out of that mess too. And nobody's judging nobody. You do you.
You do you. Because if I was still in that lifestyle, guess what? I'm gonna do me.
I'm gonna do me.
And today, man, I look at the guys and the respect, bro, the respect and the honor that they have. I mean, they be asking me for bless, or they mothers be calling me to come by. If I got to go out of town to speak, they'll say, hey man, me and my mama, we coming. And they done came on several times, and it just blows my mind to see that how all it takes is one.
That's all it takes.
All it takes is one. For one person to see the difference and see the change and to see the life that you live and see how God is doing now, seeing how you wake up every morning, you got money in your pocket. You ain't got to go to the store and get this to weigh off what you did yesterday. You God is sustaining you. You know you look good and you smell good and then they begin to reflect, hey, man, if God can do it for him, I know he can do it for me.
Yep.
But you gotta want, I want it change. I want it change. You got to want it.
You gotta want it.
Because you gotta want to be different and you gotta want to change. You know, because before I got ready to come home, my mother told me, she said, boy, they talking about you. I said, what they saying, Mom? I'm in prison. When you come home, you're gonna go back to being who you are. They saying you in there now because you got that jailhouse religion. But soon as you come home, you're gonna go back to being who you are. And I told my mama, I said, I'm gonna show them. I said, I ain't got to prove nothing to them. I said, but I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them that I ain't going back. I ain't turning back. Now I haven't crossed every I and dotted every T, but I ain't going back to the world. I ain't going back to being who I used to be. No, sir. And that's why I refuse to let anybody cause me to get out of character. You know, man, it could have got ugly in there Friday at work, man. But I had to sit down. I had to count up the cost. Now you go do this, what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose your job. If you do this, you know, you can't you know, you're gonna bring all kind of habit in your home now because you ain't working. So some things we got to not be so fast to react, but we got to weigh them out.
Weigh them out.
You know, we got to weigh them out. Now, if I go back there and slap this joker, then I know the consequences of that. Boy, hey, listen. Hey, look, and that's what they call me at work. They call me pastor, so I had to weigh it out, you know, because, you know, and that joker had me hot, boy. He had me hot because he was doing it on purpose. I know he was doing it on purpose, you know, and I had to, you know, I had said, boy, now he with me one more time. And I had to weigh it out, man. Look here, man. Is it worth it? If it worth for you showing out, is it worth it you going and then everybody look at you and say, oh man, the pastor just slapped that dude, man. He know better. He blah 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 blah. So I had to calm my spirit. I had to calm myself down. I had to look and count up the cost of everything that I was gonna be jeopardizing. And you know what I did? Man, I let it go. I went on the break. Man, listen, you can have it, bro. I finish when I come from break. But people need to know. They really need to know. And this is a good conversation. This is good, real talk. The cost of fitting in. Brother, sister, you need to sit down, as the Bible says, sit down and count up the cost. You got to count up the cost. You know, if I'm gonna be the boss, or I'm willing to pay the cost.
That's right.
If I'm gonna be the boss, and you know what come behind being the boss, and you know the boss take all the responsibilities. You know, you can't put it on the workers. I'm the boss. So the boss got to be really ready to pay the price for the cost.
That's right. You know, and the thing about it, even when my kids growing up, and especially Brandon, since he deals with sickle cell, I say it's consequences to a lot of stuff. It's consequences if you don't take care of yourself. It's a consequence behind that. It's a consequence if you get out here and do all this crazy stuff. It is consequences behind everything that you do, whether you do something good or whether you do something bad. It's always going to be something. And the world will not let you forget it, especially if it's something bad, because they do not like to see the good stuff going on. They want to see the bad, and the enemy and the devil going to keep pushing that. They're going to have you saying this, have you saying that. You're going to speak this type of way. You're going to speak that type of way. But then in the end, if I react to everything that I have heard about me or everything that I have heard about somebody said about my mama, if I ever react to that right now, it's a good chance, Pastor, I wouldn't even be on here talking to you. It's a very good chance, especially about my mama when my kids came along.
Well, I'm telling you, boy.
Because I put it like this right here, and I said this in Sunday school. Nobody, even as a parent, especially a mother, nobody has ever faced anything worse than Mary. They talked about Jesus like he was a dog. They spit on Jesus like he was a dog.
Yeah.
They beat him like the Bible described him. He was just a blob of flesh and just blood. They beat him that bad. Then they put the thorn of crown on his head. And if you look at them thorns, if you just touch it, they will pierce you.
Yeah.
Then they set him up there and stretched him. He had to, matter of fact, let me back up a little bit. He had to carry his own cross to Calvary.
Own cross.
I looked that up. He had to carry that cross almost a mile on his back to Calvary to be hung on for us. And his mother could do nothing. Then going through the crowd, they hid him. His mother couldn't do nothing but watch that. Then when they hung him up high, his mother watched all that stuff and couldn't do nothing. Soon as somebody says the thing about your mama right now or your kid, you would have a fit, but you could not bear what Jesus did. I mean, Jesus' mother did, Mary. You couldn't sit back and watch. She had to watch all that because for his dying on the cross for us.
And
her son suffer all that for us.
Man, by just listening to you talk, guess what? For him to do all that, it was a cost. He had to pay the cost for our freedom. For our freedom, for us to be here today, he had to pay the cost with his life. And you know, when Jesus said, Father, let this cup pass from me. But when he went and prayed and came out, he said, Father, nevertheless, thy will be done. Nevertheless, I'm willing to pay the cost. Nevertheless, I'm willing to sacrifice my life. Nevertheless, I am willing to pay the penalty for sin. And that's why the Bible said, let the Redeemer of the Lord say so. I am so glad that I have been redeemed by the blood. Jesus paid the cost with his blood and his life that we may have life. And the Bible said no greater love that a man would lay down his life for his friends. Jesus laid his life down. He paid the ultimate price, a price that we couldn't pay, a price, hallelujah, that we couldn't get on the cross. But Jesus said, Father, prepare me a body and I'll go and redeem mankind. And I thank him today. I thank him today. And you know, man, the message this morning was, I want to hear him say, well done.
And see, Pastor Bob made me go there. And the thing about that, all these folks that love these titles and run around want these titles and got all these titles, I ain't seen nowhere where God gonna say, well done, my good and faithful pastor, deacon, deaconess. Evangelist
Nowhere.
EC gonna say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Jesus himself said, "I come to be a servant first."
A servant. And I encourage the people this morning to be faithful to whatever God put in your hand to do. And I was talking about the ones that had the talent. One had the 5, one had the 2, and one had the 1. The one had the 1 talent, went and sat down on this gift, went and buried it. But the ones that had the 2, he went and said, Lord, the 2 that you gave me, I done went and got 2 more. And Jesus said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I make you ruler over many. And man, it was so heavy today. We can be faithful when the money is right. We can be faithful when everything is going good. We can be faithful when we on the mountaintop. But can you still be faithful when no one show up? Can you still be faithful when you down in the valley? Can you still be faithful when you're praying and you're crying and see like God ain't hearing nothing? Can you still be faithful when it's just you by yourself? But glory to God. I told him this morning that I'm determined. Even with being a pastor, it's a cost you gotta pay. It's a cost you gotta pay. The devil ain't gonna just let us walk into the things of God. He's gonna try to block us and stop us in a way he can. You're gonna be ridiculed. They're gonna be slandered. They're gonna turn on you. They're gonna forsake you. They ain't gonna be happy for you. And some ain't gonna say amen. And some ain't gonna pat you on the back. But in spite of all that, we gotta keep on going. Because I told him this morning, I ain't working for man. I'm working for Jesus. And when it's all said and done, I want to hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. That's all I want to hear him say that there. That's all.
That's why I understand a lot of these pastors, man, even people. I just say anybody that's in that has a title in the ministry. I have never seen so much crying. Oh, they said this about me. Oh, they said this about me. They talking about me. They said this about me. Man, all that comes with the doggone territory.
It comes with the cost. It comes with the cost. Jesus told us, don't be surprised. He already told us. If they did it unto me, he said, arm yourself likewise, because it's coming to you. I'm letting you know right now that it's coming your way. If they did it to the Messiah, they did it to the perfect one, they called Jesus a devil. If they did it to him, he's telling you, look, arm yourself, because it's coming your way. But he said, but guess what? Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand the fiery darts of the wicked. The wicked is going to shoot their darts. The wicked is going to do whatever they need to do to try to stop you. But I preached a message. My first message I preached was, can God depend on you? And I want God to be able to depend on me, that I will stand in the forces of evil. Yes, I get weak sometimes. Yes, sometimes, because I'm human. Yes, we go through and we don't want to go through. But to get to the other side, to be what God has called us to be the leader that God has called us to be, is a cost to be paid. Because Jesus paid the cost. He paid it all on the cross. And Jesus wasn't trying to fit in. He wasn't trying to fit in. And that's why people are going to be held accountable. That's why I thank God for you, because you don't find too many quote unquote high-minded pastors and teachers having real conversation, real life issues, real struggles. Hallelujah. People need to hear the real. They want to know, hey, man, how do I get through this? How do I make it through that? You might not did drugs. You might not drunk no alcohol. But we all have did something. And we all got a testimony that we'll be able to help somebody and tell them how God brought us out.
Amen to that right there, man. I'm telling you, I say all the time. A lot of people, I say to people all the time, quit trying to chase these titles because you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want the responsibility that comes with it. And the main thing is about it, you can't handle the talk that's going to come with the title. Because as soon as you make one mistake or say something wrong, boy, they're going to hold all that against you. And the times we're in right now, they're going to have these right here, and they're going to be saying everything about you. Next thing you know, you're going to be clipped. And your video going to go viral. Even though you can apologize in that same video, they're not going to show that. They're going to show that one clip that you made mistakes.
That one clip. And you know what, brother? It's so funny. I was preparing my message last night, and this dude I know, him and his wife was at this party, and the video was like maybe 10, 15 seconds. And he showed the video of the man, the deacon, at the party dancing, him and his wife dancing. 15-minute video. Now, the people already know that you don't say you a deacon in the church and you this and that. That video gonna cause all of us to get a whooping. Now, he may be innocent. He might, and he probably didn't know he was being videoed.
Probably didn't even know it.
He probably didn't know that they was being videoing, bro. That's why you say, like you said, them phones. Man, listen, I just buy you a new phone because I'm finna break that one. You don't get that phone out my face. If you don't, and that's why we have to be real careful, boy, because you don't know where that light coming from. But I just kind of, people need to hear, they don't need to hear no watered down conversation, because we are living in a real world, and this world is getting dangerous and wickeder. And if we don't help our sons and daughters, if we don't try to rescue and tell them what to face, they ain't gonna make it.
No, they ain't gonna make it. He's a bishop. I got a bishop friend that he was on a video dancing with his daughter at a reunion, a family reunion. He dancing with his daughter. He like he was dancing with some other woman all up on clothes. And boy, Pastor, they ridiculed him. They taught him, they stoned him to death. I was like, look, man, you at your family reunion, that's your daughter. I said, what's more important? What they saying to you, or that memory that your daughter gonna have about, I danced with my father?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like he was doing all this stuff. I joke around, be dancing with my son. It's a couple videos me and my son got dancing. I'm not worried about them. That's my son. So, and my son is a dancer. And if something happened to me, he like, I got a video of me and my daddy. He got that memory of him and his daddy dancing. Nothing crazy, no crazy music. It wasn't no cussing in it. It was instrumental, and we were dancing. People would ridicule you about and stone you to death about certain stuff, but soon as that table turned and they catch them doing the same thing, now they got all the excuses. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
They'll use Steve Harvey line.
Yeah.
Don't trip. God ain't through with me yet. But
Yeah. But see,
but you can use it. I can't use it.
Yeah. And see, if you want grace, you got to stay in grace. And so that's why I be so delighted to get on these podcasts, because people need to hear that, hey, what you going through, the issues you had, somebody else got the same issue.
Same issue.
They going through the same thing. And they need to know how they overcome. Hey, how you get out of that? How you break away from that? Mm-hmm. And we need to have more real conversations. I mean, we need to have more real conversation. This real life. This ain't no play. This ain't no play. This is real life.
Real life.
You know, it's real life. And once this life is over, you don't get no second chance to try it again. It's over with. It's over with. And so, you know, man, I just thank God that that my mother, she did all she could to raise me. My father, he wasn't in my life like he should. And we can't, you know, sometimes we try to use that as an excuse. Well, you know, my father ain't never been in the house, and we blah, 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 you know. And, you know, my mom was a single parent, and she did the best she could do, all she could do. And once I reached a certain age to where I felt like I'm grown now, and I want to do what I want to do, then hey, she took her hands off. She never stopped praying for me, but she took her hands off. Okay, if you think you grown and you think you ready for the world, you think you know got what it takes, you think you can be the boss. And she told me, I'm trying to keep your son from going down this road. And I had to go down that road to learn the hard way. See, it's an easy way, it's a hard way. I took the hard way. But when you take the hard way and you find yourself confined in that 8x7 cell, and then you begin to start thinking and saying, you know what? I should have listened. Mama was trying to tell me. Mama was trying to keep me away from this crowd. Mama was trying to tell me that they weren't no good. Mama was trying to do all she can to stop me, but I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to listen. Mama, them my friends. And she always say, boy, them ain't your friends. Mama, them my friends. Them my friends. You don't know them. We hang out every day. We do this every day. Them my friends. Them my partners. Them my partners. And then when it all hit the fan, guess who had to stand by themselves?
You.
I had to stand by myself. I had to answer by myself. I had to pay whatever I did in society. When they locked me up, I had to pay the cost. I had to pay the cost. And I couldn't understand then. I was saying to myself, Lord, I'm a changed man now. Why I got to go to prison? I ain't doing those things no more. You know, why wait a minute, this thing here backwards. I mean, you know, I got saved for change. It's like I'm going backwards. But I had to pay the cost for the actions I did in society. And just like the Bible said, no sin shall go unpunished. Whatever you do in society that is wrong, it ain't gonna go unpunished. It's a cost. It's a cost. You want to fit in, you want to be a part, it's gonna be a cost.
It's gonna be a cost. And one thing about that right there, Pastor, is that I had brought up one time in a conversation that if God can forgive and forget, why you can't forgive and forget? Because
Right.
we'll quickly say, well, I forgave you, but I ain't gonna forget it. But
Well,
you
that.
want God to forgive you and forget
Hmm.
everything.
Right. And you feel like that, and then you saying you forgive.
Mm-mm.
Because deep down in your heart, you saying you forgive, but you ain't gonna forget, then that's you contradicting yourself. If I'm gonna forgive you, I'm gonna forgive you and forget about it. But every time you see me, you wanna let that memory play, and then you would get to act in all kind of ways. No. If you forgive me, you forgive me. If you forgot about it, you forgot about it.
And don't
That's
bring
the
it up no
bottom
more. Don't even bring
line.
it up no
Don't
more.
bring it, don't bring it up no more.
But
It's a
soon as
done
somebody
deal.
bring, but soon as somebody bring up your mess, why you bringing that up? Well, you bring up everybody else stuff too.
Hmm.
So you gonna get what you put in.
You're gonna reap what you sow.
That's it. You know, the world call it karma, but it's really you reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow. You're gonna reap
You
what you sow.
you sow a whole lot of bad stuff, you're gonna reap a whole lot of bad stuff.
You're gonna reap a whole lot back. And I'm telling you, man, I'm just delighted, man, to be able to share and enlighten people with my testimony, man. Because like I say, you don't have too many podcasts like this. Everybody want that smooth sailing. Everybody want, that nice conversation. But boy, you got to put some rough in there, because life ain't gonna always be smooth,
Mm-mm. Man,
you
no,
know.
they wanna talk that noise, and they reap all this bad. They sow all this bad stuff. Then blame the devil. Boy, the devil busy. No, you're reaping what you sowed.
That's it. Ain't the
That ain't
devil
got
ain't doing
nothing to
that.
do with the devil. Not nothing. That
You
devil
just
didn't tell
reaping
you
what
go
you
out here
sow.
and slap somebody. You
He
chose to go
didn't
out and
tell you.
slap somebody.
You
He
chose
didn't
to
tell
do
you that.
that. You chose it. He didn't tell you that.
No. But
You
now
you
somebody,
chose to do that.
but now about 2 or 3 people don't came back and slap you. Now you, oh man, the devil busy. I don't know why they hating on me. Okay, look what you see. We don't like. We want to look back at our past or try to pull us back in our past, but you don't want to look back in what you've done.
Right.
Because I remember my former pastor, Pastor Bryant, have said one time before. He said, "Boy, ain't it something when you sow all this stuff at this age, but you in your 40s, late 40s, early 50s, reaping that stuff."
Reaping it. Now reaping it. And then people don't know that what they did, it might not fall on you. It might fall on your sons and daughters. And they reaping stuff that you did.
Your mess.
Your mess. They reaping because of what you did. And so man, I kind of thank God for this conversation, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it. And man, we need more of the real talk, man. I mean, it'll be good to have some in person conversation when and see you and see a lot of people want it to be about them. I ain't got to, I want because I'm still a growing. I want to learn more. Somebody can share something with me that I didn't know that'll help me along the way.
Me too.
And so we can't get to the point that we have already arrived, and I know everything. I know that, but we are yet still learning.
Yeah, my son podcast. His was about that. It's okay not to know. I mean, it's okay you don't know everything. I'm still
Right.
learning myself.
Yeah.
You're gonna always learn to the day that you leave here.
You're gonna always learn.
If you don't get that mentality that you think you know everything and nobody else know nothing,
Right. Right.
you gonna always learn something. I learn something all
Right.
the time. I guarantee you, if some of y'all talk to some of these young folks, you'll learn a whole lot, especially with
A
the
whole
technology.
lot. Yeah, man. Listen, I had to when my grandkids come home, and I had to tell that I had to take this phone to them, and I tell them, man, how you take this off?
I know, I get with Brandon. Hey man, what is this?
Yeah, hey, how you hook this up? What, they go dead to it, and here you go, Papa. I like, man, how you remove this right here? So I'm learning when I should and when you should already know this, but hey, man, listen, these phones and these computers and all this type of stuff here, Lord help me, cause I get lost. And I quickly call my grandkids, hey man, look, when y'all come home, I need y'all to take this off, and I need y'all to.
and if I can't get my son or my daughter, I go to Google. Google them geeks be on there about them phones.
Yeah.
I Google whatever I try to do, and they'll show all the videos of them geeks. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. I'd be like, okay, I don't did that step. That ain't working. Then they say, do this other step. I'd be, I forgot about that step right there. And it helped. But man, I'd be sitting there sometimes and like, man, I'd be like, Brandon, what is this? Show me how to do it. Even when it comes to this stuff, he had to show me a lot of this stuff about.
Man.
I'd be like, hey, man, sometimes he be in the room. Sometimes he be in the room. I don't call him. I call him on the phone. Hey, come in here, do this. Come do this for me.
Man, I'd be lost. I wouldn't even try it. If I somebody that know what they doing, they got to be sitting right beside me. If not, we got to go live on the phone, cause all this here. No, boy, I'm finna get frustrated. And look at man, we ain't gonna have the show tonight.
Oh man, Pastor man, before we get out here, so you go and enjoy the rest of your day, your family, man. Let everybody know. Everybody know about you, bro.
Hey man, God bless you, man. I'm Pastor James Everett. I pastor the Hedges and Highway Outreach Church Ministry in Hamlet, North Carolina. I also have a prayer ministry on Facebook up under the name James Jr., where we pray daily. And if you have a prayer request, if you need prayer, you can inbox me or you can text it, and we would definitely pray for you, call your name out, pray for your family. And that's what we are doing.
Y'all catch that? Y'all caught that right? Y'all hear that he praying, and I be on sometime, man. I be at work when he be praying. Hey, and I appreciate it, Pastor man, when you praying for us, man. I really do appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna. I'll tell anybody. Now I ain't gonna let anybody pray for me. I will tell you that right.
Right.
Anybody pray for me or my kid. Hey, can I pray for you and your son? No, we okay. No, we okay. Because some of y'all ain't praying for the betterment of us. Some of y'all praying for the downfall of us. So we appreciate that, Pastor, and my son.
Yes, sir.
What you got going, Brandon?
So August 30th, I do have a performance for the Hollaback Fashion Show, and I'm gonna be performing and stuff like that. So still get your tickets. It's only a few left, so make sure you get your tickets and stuff like that.
I seen them the other day. I said, boy, I used to move like that when I was about 20.
Oh Lord.
In my 20s, I used to move just like that, boy. I'm almost in my 60s, boy. Hey, Pastor can't move like that no more, boy. We have to break it down.
Hey, Pastor, he was messing with me one time. He said, man, Dad, you gonna come out of retirement. I used to dance too. You should come out of retirement, man. I said, man, you be calling. I said, you be going to get them jumper cables out there trying to jump start these bees, boy.
I tell you, boy. Yes, sir, boy. I said, look at him, boy, doing all that bending. I said, boy, no way in the world I can do that.
Nah. But Pastor, man, we're gonna let you roll on out, man, so you can enjoy the rest of the evening with your family. We appreciate
yes,
you.
Sir.
You know, at any time, man. You know, you can always jump aboard with us, man. You know, at any time.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and roll on out, man. And we'll close
okay.
this thing out and everything.
All right. All right. Appreciate y'all.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pastor, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, y'all heard it. You know, Pastor was in here on it, so it's all good. We just like to appreciate. We'd like to thank each and every one of you all for coming out and just watching and enjoying. Like my son said, he's got an event August 30th. August 30th. That's next Sunday at the Holler Center, Anson County. Y'all come out and get your tickets. VIP is already sold out.
Sold out. If you do get tickets, we can't guarantee that you don't get a seat. You might be standing.
You might be standing, but the ones that got a ticket, you will get a seat. You will get a seat from what they said.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so many people there. We was on TikTok yesterday, and it's gonna be a lot of people there in the little town of Morgan. It's gonna be a lot of people. Y'all come on out, support, and here's the good thing that we forgot to announce on your podcast. Here's the good thing: all proceeds go back to the Holler Center.
Yeah.
All proceeds.
All proceeds go back.
The performers are performing for free.
Yeah. We didn't get
this is to help the Holler Center with the children, the Learning Center, everything. That's to help the Holler Center grow as far as doing things for the community and doing things for the children. Yeah. So if you want to get a ticket, you can blow this up and scan the QR code right there. And we just hope to see each and every one of you all. Preferably the weather be nice and don't be so hot. And if God willing, we will be there next Sunday. We got to be there early, so we got to be there early. So.
I got to be there early.
Yeah, we got to be there early. So
I'm gonna be resting for this week.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I already got them.
Yeah,
I already got them
for like the next 3 days, getting closer to it. If I don't respond to messages or calls and stuff, that is why I am knocked out and
rested. That's the name of the event, the Hollaback Fashion Show. And the thing about it, they're using people in Anson County to model. Y'all seen Bryn Lee, the model, on here, so she's gonna be on there. She's gonna be there as well. And that's what he got coming up. Y'all check it out. There's a QR code. My son Be Smooth, Brandon, y'all know Brandon Be Smooth. Whichever one y'all call him. And he's gonna be performing. What I got coming up, we won't be on next week, but Brandon said he recorded the TikTok live because it was on yesterday. I'm gonna try to get clips and everything. We can put them together, and I do a pre-recording and play that on so everybody can see. Hopefully before Sunday. Hopefully he can have it done before the weekend. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and put it up so y'all can see some of the people that's going to be there. See some of the people that's going to be there. And if nothing happens, we'll be back the following Sunday. Maybe the first Sunday, maybe the second Sunday. Yeah. One of them in September.
Because if it's not that Sunday, like after this event, it'll definitely come. She won't be resting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get some footage down there. I'm not gonna be. I don't know. I might try to go live for a little bit while I'm down there, but I'll be paying attention. Yeah. Not only because my son there, because it's some great talent in Anson County also. So I'm gonna be paying attention. His grandma said she might do a pop-up. I don't know. You'll be 93, she get around almost better than me. And she a mess too. But everybody, y'all come out and enjoy the rest of your evening, your Sunday evening. and enjoy the rest of the week. If it's hot in your area, wherever you're viewing this from, make sure you drink plenty of fluids, not no sodas and stuff. You're gonna drink some sodas, some sweet tea or something like that. Make sure you're in the house. That is not nothing to be drinking outside in this heat because it will make you dizzy. You can get dehydrated.
It makes you dehydrated faster.
Make you get dehydrated faster. Y'all make sure y'all check us out. If you missed this from the beginning, go back and watch it from the beginning. Share this with somebody. Now we're not great and big like everybody else, but you know, we do all the thing that we do. We stay in our lane.
For the ones that's watching, if you so happen to be at the the event and stuff like that, if you see us, come up and say, hey.
Come holler at them. Let's take some pictures so we can put you up on here.
Yeah, come say, hey. Now, depending on the time period of when you do see us, if I can't talk to you right then and there, I'll be sure to do it after because one, it's gonna be a tight schedule. Two, I gotta make sure I'm in the position or where I need to be at so I can get on, do what I need to do. They keep the show going.
Yeah.
But yeah, come up, say hey.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be a meet and greet too at after everything. There's gonna be so much going on. This thing gonna be large, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that because that's where I'm from. My little town of Morgan. We're in the little town of Morgan, but it's gonna be big. That's gonna be a big event around for this. Y'all come out. And I just like to leave y'all with this because I learned a lot of stuff from my son about writing stuff down, putting notes down so I won't forget. And I have learned because I do type a lot of stuff when I have certain thoughts in my head. I do type a lot of stuff to myself. I send it to myself. And that's why a lot of times on Facebook, I can post and put a date on it when I wanted to post. So a lot of stuff that y'all see, posts that I put up sometimes, those are already in motion. I have already pre-text them to show at a certain time. So it ain't, and sometimes I don't even be on, but I already have it scheduled to post at a certain time or a certain date. Matter of fact, some of the posts I got posts going on now was from last year that I had my certain thoughts I had. And so I learned just jot stuff down and like a lot of stuff like that for my son. But at the end of your life, fitting in won't matter. What would matter is, did you become who God called you to be? Did you walk in truth? Did you protect your identity? Because some people try to strip that away from you. Some people try to downplay the truth. Did you compromise your soul for acceptance? Careful with that right there. Did you abandon purpose trying to impress people who were temporary? Try to impress people all the time. Some listeners this evening, y'all could be exhausted, not because you're weak, but because they've been carrying a version of themselves that was never real. And maybe this conversation is your permission to stop pretending, to stop shrinking, to stop blending in, to stop apologizing or being different. Stop apologizing because you're different. You're different for a reason. Because maybe the very thing that makes you feel isolated is actually the thing connected to your calling. And on that note, y'all, we get ready to get up out of here. We appreciate each and every one of you all for joining us on today, joining in with us on today. Matter of fact, we'd like to thank Pastor James again for coming in. Matter of fact, I'd like to give all y'all a round of applause for coming in. So on that note right there, y'all, we're out of here.